All right, my fine folks, what's going on? Today we are going to be discussing the Fallout series. It's May 23rd. It's been over for a minute, so I just finished it the day before yesterday because I didn't know I had an account. I didn't know I had access to an Amazon Prime, so I managed to knock that off. It's okay. Keys on the ground and shit. It's okay. Is it great? Of course not. This is not great. Cause right off the bat, just from my opinion, of course, Brotherhood of Steel, didn't like them. But for somebody that's played at least most of the games, I don't go back. I'm not going back to Nerdville where Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics and all that shit. I'm like regular folks from 3 until now. I never really got with the Brotherhood. Never did. And this iteration of the Brotherhood, if I'd be able to stand it more if it was more in line with what's in the game. And I'm not talking about aesthetically. I'm just talking about I don't know where they pull that Malloy shit from. And I was just like, what? Malloy? What the fuck are they? What the hell is that? Yeah, and that was just a turn off from the start. And it's just one of them things where I'm like, don't know how the series is gonna go, but from the way they got the Brotherhood going now, nothing good is gonna happen for them. That seems like one of the factions, because everything's always fucked up in Fallout. That just seemed like one of the factions that's just gone. It ain't nothing redeeming about it, at all. It just ain't nothing redeeming about it. So, even the little dude Maximus, I ain't much care for him either. And that little romance between him and they trying to start with him and Lucy, I give no shits about that. I don't even buy it. You know what I'm saying? I just like, y'all just gotta put some people together, so y'all gonna stick them two together. I don't see it. Yeah, but most of the stuff with the Brotherhood, I just think it's fucking dumb. The Enclave itself, can't say shit. They off in the background. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say nothing. I can't say nothing bad about or good about the Enclave. Because they deep in the cut. They gonna have some stuff coming on maybe later seasons if we get more than a second season. Lucy, it's a bit of a dum-dum. I can't I can't tell you much more than that. She ain't stupid, but she's a bit of a dum-dum at times. But it's the whole fish out of water thing. Y'all know how it go. She's a person out of time and trying to adjust. But it's just like, at a certain point, you gotta be like, okay, that whatever the fuck I done learned don't go out here. And she said as much. That her maybe the Vault Dwellers are naive and blah 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 blah, and then proceed to do some dumb naive shit after that. It's just like, okay, don't admit. It's one thing somebody admit to something, well, you know better, do better, and then go right into doing the dumb shit. I'm just okay. I'm all right. Whatever. Man. But like I said, that's the main character at this point. We're gonna be stuck with her for a while. She's not bad, you know, and I think they're gonna keep her pretty even killed throughout the whole thing, because you can't have her go one way all or another, one, you know, just all over the place to where you just don't like the broad no more for whatever reason. You got to kind of keep her in the middle, kind of like I forget that broad name from whatever the main character from Orange is the New Black. You know, it just got to, I just didn't like her at all. I was really hoping that something really, really bad would come her way. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, they just went all the way this way with her, and, you know, and it's just like, oh, man, I don't think they're going to do anything like that. I never know. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, they did a pretty good job of throwing a whole bunch of video game shit in there that went over my head, that I'm just, you know, it's a bunch of stuff that just went whoop. Oh, and I play the games. It ain't until I went and watched reviews after I finished the series. And there's a lot of shit that I saw and a lot of stuff that I heard that I just didn't put together as being a reference from the game or the game culture. It ain't always about game. Sometimes they you know, some shit in there is an aspect of game culture, not the game itself. And I'm just like when he said something about not wasting your time doing some shit else, you know, which is basically when you play the type of games you spend all your time doing everything but what the fuck you supposed to be doing. You get distracted. I can't even say this shit right because I can't remember the exact line. But y'all know you know what to say. The ghoul said that. And I didn't much care for the ghoul. I really didn't. You know, I was like, well, first of all, ghouls don't look like that. At least as far as I know. Now, would I want the ghoul to look like the ghouls looked in New Vegas and fucking Fallout 3? No. That would just look like The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, it would just look like a Walking Dead zombie just running around there. They're not zombies. They're ghouls. And it didn't look like a ghoul to me. Looked like Red Skull. And it don't matter. All the way from point A, from the time I started watching the series, all the way up until the final episode, that's all I can think about is that. And he don't look like a fucking ghoul to me. He looks like Red Skull. It just has, you know, at a certain point while you're watching the series, you got to turn that shit off. You know what I'm saying? Or else you're not going to enjoy it at all. You're not going to enjoy it at all. So eventually I had to just turn all this stuff and just watch the fucking show. But no, didn't look like a fucking ghoul to me. You know. And it's a bunch of stuff with, you know, just it's a bunch of stuff that I kept to myself because I don't know the entire I don't know everything about Fallout from Fallout 1 all the way up to 2, because, you know, some stuff you have to be like, okay, you know, I jumped in at 3. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people did. I didn't play the earlier Fallouts, and I don't know if or what they done pulled from that. So it could be a bunch of that stuff in the game. I mean, in the show. that I'm looking at that I don't think is right, but technically is, especially at the settings of the show. You know what I'm saying? And I had to think about that. I was like, well, you know, we on the West Coast, and it took me a while. I was like, I don't even know where this shit is set. It was the fact that I was seeing a bunch of sand and shit like that I just assumed that it was on the West Coast somewhere before you start hearing names of places and shit like that. Because I heard Philly. You know, if I hear Philly, you know what's popping in my head. I ain't thinking about shit on the West Coast. I'm thinking about some other shit. Like literally, somebody said Philly, and I was like, that's a mighty long ass walk from where you're where you are on now. But yeah, that shit. Who else? Like I say, I don't know nothing about the Enclave. That old Cold Fusion shit. That's some shit that they added in themselves. The vault stuff is, you know, that shit. The vault's kind of easy to put together. You know what I'm saying? But all that stuff didn't pick. Well, I guess that's the truth for everybody. Didn't pick up towards, like, I'd say like the last 3 episodes is where I was like, all this shit that I'm talking about didn't really matter all that much, because at that point you're like, okay, I'm trying to see what's happening. I want to see what's happening. I want to see what's about to happen. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what the fuck is about to happen. And I was just imagining, all right, they got a second season. How much would it have sucked if they didn't get a second season? Why wouldn't they get a second season? I don't know. But I don't know how all them little shits work. But I was like, that would suck if we went through the season the way that it is now and it didn't be a second. I mean, that would have been like the biggest waste of time. You just but we got a season 2 coming. And I'm kind of happy to see what's going on, because I'm trying to see what I can recognize, and a lot of people see a lot, but I'm vision impaired, but I miss a lot of shit. But I started noticing all these people, like at the little Vault-Tec meetings or whatnot, where they had all the big wigs, big names and stuff that we were like, House and Sinclair, and then some other names for some folks that other people would recognize that I wouldn't know who the hell it is. But that type of stuff, and I'm just like, okay. I saw a little bit of that. Don't know how much of that is going to be moving forward, especially with the timeline, because a lot of those we dealing with in canon game stuff. That means the writers and all that other stuff, they gotta see what happened in these games. You know what I'm saying? Solidify that and then write a story on top of it. Okay, we got to figure out what happened, what did or didn't happen in these games. Because all this is supposed to be in the same universe, and then boom, we put those together and we write our story based on that. Because motherfuckers is going to pick you apart. They're already doing it with the Predwin. You know what I'm saying? And I'm late to this shit, and I wouldn't give no shits, because first time I saw it, I was like, the Predwin. What the hell is cat shit? Oh my goodness. I gotta put the cats out of the house. Oh my goodness. It's a litter box in there and somebody didn't use it. I can smell it. I can smell it. It's horrible. Anyway, cat shit stink. You ought to be able to put that shit in a plastic bag and make a grenade out of it. Cat poop grenade. Just fuck somebody up. But anyway, I gotta find. I'm gonna have to stay away from it for a while because I've watched all the Oxhorn. I went to Oxhorn. I watched his breakdowns. I watched his review and his breakdowns of characters and stuff like that. And even throughout the stuff like in the vaults, it's so much shit I miss. And folks like that who go over every goddamn thing to tell you when the goddamn Fallout theme played on and all this. I am not that, I'm not gonna catch shit like that. The only thing I'm gonna catch is that the music was overbearing to me. You know what I'm saying? I get where it was coming from compared to the video games and all that other stuff, but if I'm watching a show or a movie or anything like that, if I'm noticing the music, it's probably too much. It's the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm tired, man. I really am. James Gunn. And you watch Guardians of the Galaxy and it's just like, and he stick these fucking songs in there and I'm just like, and then I for whatever reason I hate on the nose ass music. You know what I'm saying? I for whatever reason it irritates me when people play on the nose ass music. I'm like, really? It's eye rolling. It's just like, But the thing about with Fallout is that they play the music and I'm just like, okay, it's what we heard on a video game. Can y'all turn that shit down a little bit? Come on, can you turn the shit down a little bit? Because even on the video, I think when I first played Fallout, I used to have the music going all the time. Visually, it was just like, no music. The only reason I have music playing in Fallout is in Fallout 4 and Radio Freedom. So I can get it's that fiddle music. They played a little bit of that. And so I can get the alerts from when my settlements is calling. That's it. I don't even want to hear that, but I mean, that's how I get the notifications if I need to go help a settlement or some shit like that. That's it. I don't, the novelty for that wore off long time ago. You know what I'm saying? It wore off a long time ago. Even before New Vegas came around and I was playing that. No music. You know what I'm saying? Just, I can't even remember the music for New Vegas. It got a couple of the same songs from Fallout 3, but I know they had some other songs. It's just, I want to play the game. I don't want to listen to the radio. I'm trying to listen to what's going on and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But in the show, when the music come on, it's like, I'm just like, oh, man, I'm proud of that music, huh? And I remember going through the same thing watching Blue Beetle. I think it's James Gunn deal, so I think they did that weird ass music shit in that too. I never finished watching that movie. That movie sucked. Uh, it did. Oh, it sucked so hard. I didn't like it at all. It's just me. But what else was going on in Fallout that I can think of right off my head? I got to see some boobs. I can't complain about that. Several boobs. And it was just like, as it was happening, I was like, they're not gonna show these women topless, are they? And then they showed the titties, and I was like, well, all right. I mean, it wasn't a erotic scene or nothing like that. So, grown ass man, I've seen titties before. I'm not gonna get all excited, but I was like, okay, titties. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Now, if they'd have done some weird ass shit beyond that, then that's kind of different. It's one of them things where you kind of, okay, all right, then go on about your business. Don't linger on it and shit like that. Just, okay, then go. That's pretty much what they did. Now the shit with with Maximus and the cock explosions and shit, they could have kept that to themselves. Because I'm like, what the fuck is going on inside the Brotherhood of Steel? Where they not getting a well-rounded education in there. They just not. For his man not to know what the fuck, how to address shit. And talking about swells up like a pimple and explodes. I'm like, that is not a good explanation of how that shit goes. That's not a good explanation at all. It makes me wonder what the fuck you got down there. You got some kind of mutant shit or something there? Because that don't sound right. It don't sound right. So I'm like, yeah. Like I say, I think that was a cringe moment for everything. I think they gonna lay off of that. But what kind of education is they throwing around inside the Brotherhood of Steel to where this man done been there since he was a goddamn kid, and all they teach inside the Brotherhood of Steel is they little dogma, they little rules and regulations, for being in their organization, and everything else just no. You don't need to know about no social studies and all no shit like that. You learn what we tell you to do, what we tell you to fucking do. Just dumb. Like you got what was the squires? They carry out these big giant bags, man. It looks so dumb. You got the knights in the power armor walking around, but you got the squire following them around with this big bag that's bigger than they are. I'm like, I'm guessing it's supposed to be some kind of comedic shit. It just looks stupid. It just looks stupid. And then, excuse me. And then the dude got beat up and by the bear, and I'm just like, he was able to shoot that bear just a couple times and kill it. Now the knight died from his injuries. He died from his injuries from getting attacked by that bear in power armor. Well, how shitty is that goddamn power armor? Because they didn't show his injuries. Because really he wasn't supposed to have none. That whole little fight he had with the goddamn bear was in power armor. The power armor probably should have been scratched. Because, I mean, the Maximus ended up getting in the power armor and using it just fine. But the other dude got smacked around by a bear in the power armor and ended up dying from it. It just... Oh man, it's just no. Ain't supposed to happen. I'm sorry, just no. And you knew you knew where that was going. You know, as it was happening, you were like, okay, Maximus is not for to help this dude. He just they had him be so much of an asshole, and it's like that. Anytime you see anybody be that much of an asshole, something bad's for to happen to him. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose. So he can get his come up, even though they didn't show it, but you know, he let him die. He let him die. And another thing about the power armor is once Maximus was impersonating the knight that he let die, and he had the little squire with him. And first of all, he stepped on the squire. He fucked that squire foot up. And I had to just throw that up to video game shit. Because we all done trekked our way across the wasteland on some crippled ass limbs. It's happened. You know what I'm saying? But they showed that dude foot after I'm like, you ain't walking on that. You know what I'm saying? Even after that, they showed him just walking in the middle of the fucking desert. I'm sitting there trying to figure out how they gonna get from how anybody get from point A to point B in the scenes that they show us out in the goddamn desert. And they don't how to have no equipment or nothing with them. And they just walking. Just miles of sand. How the fuck you get from where? Whatever, man. Don't think about it too much. Just don't. Video game shit. What was I for to say? Oh, yeah. Motherfucking that squire, I guess after he found out that Maximus was the knight, he went around and snatched the fusion core out of the power armor. And Maximus sitting there hollering and screaming, "Don't leave me in there, please!" Ah! You know, in the game, if you want to get somebody out of power armor, that's how you do it. You don't snatch the power or the fusion core out the power armor and they trapped in there. That's not how the power armor works, man. That's how you get people out of it. You know what I'm saying? You go, you sneak up, you take the power armor, and then they open up and they have to get out. Shit like that, you gotta let it go, or you will not enjoy anything else that might have something good going on in the show. And it's a lot going on in this fucking show. Like all the stuff that's going on with the Vaults 31, 32, and 33. And I can't tell you. I can't explain it to you. You know what I'm saying? I really can't. I just know something is up with that Betty chick. And something was up with the one-eyed chick. It's kind of obvious when you watch. You know what I'm saying? The way they frame shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, something is up with them. You know, all the interactions between the votes, or what the interactions between the vaults and stuff like that is supposed to be. I didn't figure that shit out until it was explained to me watching reviews of the show. I didn't get none of that shit. I didn't get none of that shit watching the show. I just didn't. Like I said, I watched the show. I be trying to pay attention. A lot of that shit go right the fuck over my head. And none of that was bad. It's just that, it's just, you know, it's shit, some shit I missed. like Moldaver or whatever. I saw the name spelled, and I'm like, why the fuck do y'all say it like that? Because when I saw the name spelled Moldaver, I'm sitting there, I'm hearing the name, but I was, and then I saw the name on the screen. I was like, they look like Moldavar. Why is it spelled weird? But she also has another name that she went by at some point, Williams or something. I'm not gonna get all that stuff until after the fact. After I watch the episode or after I watch the season, and I go back and I start watching reviews. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different from the video game. I'll tell you that right now. All the shit that go on in the video game, I go from checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint. I follow the little shit. I don't be reading terminals and none of that shit. I don't figure out that until I go to somebody's Let's Play or go to somebody's lore page and then have that shit explained after the fact. And this show don't seem to be no different. It's just and I'm not saying that as a fault of the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it as a fault of the show, because a lot of folks follow that shit just fine. It's just me. I know I'm not gonna follow it like that. You know, there's just a lot of stuff I'm gonna miss. I'm not gonna see all your little Easter eggs and stuff like that. A lot of stuff, as far as Fallout wise, and you comparing it to the video game and blah blah blah. You're looking at the video game, you're thinking about the video game, you're watching the show, and a lot of the stuff is gonna just pop out to you. Like the posters and the vote. Why I keep saying vote? And the vault. I'll make sure I'm not about to shock myself on something. What the fuck? What else? All of that. The guns, the assault rifle, the minigun, how the minigun looked on the side of the vertebrae. It looked just like the fucking miniguns in the game. And all that shit, you know what I'm saying? The little stuff like that I'll catch. Now, the way the power armor and shit was flying around, I mean, they can lose that shit. I thought I seen the actual jetpack once, but all that shit with the jet shooting out the arms and all kind of shit. No, man, come on. Yeah, I'm just like, ain't nowhere I done seen in all my years of playing Fallout where it was jets and shit shooting out the arms and shit, fire shooting out the arms and shit like that. Why is that in there? If this is based off the games, you know what I'm saying? If this is based off the games, why is that there? I thought I seen the jetpack once, but anytime they get around that shit, it's always shitting away and all kind of other shit happening. But I thought I seen the actual, the actually Y-shaped jetpack. I thought I saw it. I could have been imagining this shit. And like I said, when I say I thought I saw it, I'm not even sure if it was while I was watching the show or while I was watching the review. Either way, I have to, because and the people do these reviews, they be having a mix of video game and show footage all blended together and shit. It's just, what the fuck am I looking at? You think you watching shit on the show? There's a life bar on the screen and a map and shit. I'm like, oh, you doing something else right now. Monsters, I think you have to put in, I'm putting this as it is an introductory season. It's the first goddamn season. To where, okay, this is introducing us to all these folks. That's why at the end of the season, you know, we got everybody that we got, whoever's left, facing off, well, not facing off, but facing towards whatever it is they got to do next on their agenda. You had Lucy's dad, I can't remember his goddamn name. He in the power on, and they said something about him going to New Vegas. And I was like, okay. But I didn't get that till afterwards. I watched the show just like everybody else. I didn't know what the fuck that was off in the distance. Didn't look like much. You know what I'm saying? Really, it really didn't. You know, it really didn't. You see some stuff off into that was supposed to be New Vegas. I'm like, New Vegas don't look like much of shit out there in the middle of the goddamn desert. It really don't. You seen that one little top, but I couldn't think if that was the Lucky 38 or not. I wouldn't even think about that shit until somebody actually mentioned New Vegas. And I was like, don't look like nothing else is there. But we're gonna have to wait till we get there and see what they do with it. I always try to compare New Vegas to like real Vegas. It's tiny. New Vegas would literally be like one block, maybe half a block in real Vegas. Not even a full strip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's exciting. I'm like, oh shit, they got to go to New Vegas. All right. And then what we still have to deal with is the NCR. Still got to, see what's going to happen with them. Like I say, they blew up Sadie's, who the fuck is Sadie Sands? Shady Sands. But that's not, it's like you blowing up one city in a state. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of other stuff out there. And people's like, well, why they didn't do this? Well, why they didn't do this? And why they didn't do that? Give it time. The California Republic, it ain't like they just rushing there to do this, that, and the other. It's, if you gonna try to, and then it was like a one-man job. You know what I'm saying? How you fight that? You got one man that found a way to blow up the whole goddamn city of Shady Sands. Well, who the fuck? In general, that's the whole government. If it was one person that did that, how you fight that? You know what I'm saying? There's no organization to run to take care of that shit. If you don't already have that information. This ain't like the Moldaver chick who been dealing with this shit since 200 years for some goddamn reason. I don't know how to. Everybody's still trying to be like, well, we know how everybody else is still around, but we don't know how she's still around after 200 years. You know what I'm saying? After 200 years, she's still around. They don't know how she done did it, whether she done injected herself with something or if she got her own little cryogenic shit going on. She was I think she was supposed to be a fairly big wig back in the day, so she could have had all kind of stuff going. NASA flying here. Oh my goodness. But she's dead now, so you won't be seeing her unless it's in some flashbacks. And the ghoul, which I didn't really much care for, follow his story. I didn't really much soften up on the ghoul until the last couple of episodes when they started going real heavy on the Cooper Howard shit from way back in the day. And you start getting his motivations on shit. Then I was kind of like, okay, but he's still like an asshole, dude. Just Yes. I was about to say something and it had nothing to do with it. But I didn't the Ghoul just threw me off. Like I said, a lot of shit I had to kind of overlook by how the Ghoul looked and how he act. Don't look like a Ghoul, they don't sound like a Ghoul. You know what I'm saying? I wish they'd have made him look more like the Fallout 4 Ghouls. I mean, you know, I wish they did. He just looked like fucking Red Skull to me. He should look more like a burn victim. So, we got that. I can't think of anything else that might have piqued my interest. You know, whether the dude that Squire that was with Maximus at first, you know, after he got his foot fixed with that super serum or whatever the fuck that man gave him, that kind of just fixed his foot in video game shit. Don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even think about it. And there was you think you might be a Ghoul. You know, after he got shot in the neck, that arrow went right through his goddamn neck. And he was saying he might be a Ghoul, and that's not the first thing. When he did that, when he first took that shit, I was like, this is gonna be a way to introduce the super mutant. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thing that popped into my mind. I said, and then when they say you probably think he was a Ghoul, and he got scared and ran off. But I'm like, nah, it's got to be a super mutant, because super mutants, not ghouls, have that regenerative biology. You know what I'm saying? From the FEV. Ghouls don't have that. They live a long time, but they don't have that regenerative property in their biology like super mutants do. Why they live a long time, I have no idea. But the reason why super mutants live a long time is because their body is constantly regenerating cells. I learned that in Fallout 4. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly regenerating cells. That's why they don't really age. That's why super mutants can be around for a long ass time. Now, why ghouls don't age, I have no idea. It's just it. That's just something they threw together, because really shouldn't. The way they had the ghouls at first, at least in Fallout 3 in Vegas, you know, they rotting and falling apart and all kind of shit like that. Man, you managed to stay around for over 100, 200 years, and your body parts is falling off and shit. It just don't make no sense. That's why I like the Fallout 4. Their ghoulification makes more sense, as their body toughened up against the radiation and shit like that. Like, their skin is not rotted, but it's thick. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's thicker than normal, and then whatever else they got going on with the resistance to the radiation or whatnot. It just make more sense. Like I said, all this shit is fiction, so it really don't matter that much, but still. But that was something that I kind of picked up on. I want to see if I'm right about that. Because you never know in these games. Because they can change shit. You know what I'm saying? They can change shit whenever they want. Whether it's in lore or in canon or not. They can change shit and put whatever the fuck, wherever. It's just like, what was it, Vault 31? When, what was that, Norm? When he went into Vault 31. And yeah, I was like, is that the Robo Brain? The little shit? We didn't get the whole little the Robo Brain on the tracks, you know, with the robot body or whatnot. We got it's a Rumba with a brain on top. That's basically what it is. A fucking vacuum cleaner with a brain on top. I was like, really? Y'all did all this work putting together all this shit. You got the Mr. Handies. I think it was another robot they showed? I can't remember. But it came to the Robo Brain. You got this little Rumble with a little glass bubble on top of it with a brain in it. And I was like, that sucks. That seemed like some last minute shit to me. Y'all could have did better than that. Come on, man. Come on, bruh. You could have did better than that. So yeah, we. Luckily, by that time, I was sleepy and shit, and I actually missed the part where he gets locked in the vault. Yeah, I did. I saw it on a review, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I must have dozed off on that part. Because I remember I was watching the show, and then I decided to stop watching. I cut it off. I was like, okay, fuck it. I will catch up with this shit tomorrow. And then the next day, like literally, when I stopped watching, is when Lucy was after the battle between the Moldovar and the Brotherhood. And then, what's his name? Lucy was sitting there because what's his name was unconscious. Maximus was laying on the ground unconscious. She was sitting there holding him, and the ghoul was there too, and he was getting ready to walk off. That's when I stopped watching. I was like, I'll finish watching this shit later. And the next day, I watched. It's like fucking 8 minutes left in the episode of the whole season. There's like 8 minutes left in the whole season. I'm like, really? I could have just watched this and went to bed. I was like, I woke up next day thinking I had like an episode or something to go, and this is nope. You had about 8 minutes of show left. Couldn't hang, son. You couldn't hang. So we gonna see. Everybody's gonna be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to it. Now that I actually have, well, now that I know I have Amazon Prime Video. Of course, I'm using somebody else's, but I'm on somebody's Prime Video, and they on like 5 of my shits. So, whatever. I gotta find some more shit to watch on Prime just to even that shit out. But I looked on there, I was like, Aquaman. I don't remember watching no Aquaman on this shit. What the fuck? Who been on my profile watching Aquaman, goddammit? Yeah, so, and I'm still, I don't even know how the episodes came out. I don't know if they got all dumped at once or if they put them out, you know. I don't know how they do it, but however they do it, I probably won't start watching. Unless I'm really bored, I probably won't start watching until all the videos are out. Because that's just how I do it. And I'll binge that shit. Depending on the day, I'll watch that shit one day. I've done it. That's how I do The Walking Dead. I watched that whole season in one goddamn day. Suck all the goddamn enjoyment out of it because you don't be wanting to stop. You don't be wanting to stop. But yeah, now that I know I got the shit, I'm like, okay, when it come out, I know I can watch it. I'm good. I got this. Now what I'm going to do is proceed to probably not watch many reviews on this because my YouTube ain't full of shit right now because my internet is down. But yeah, I don't know what's up with the guy. Xfinity, what the fuck is up with your internet, man? I paid my internet bill because my phone's still working because I got Xfinity Mobile. So they both on the same shit. Fuck. Anyway, I will I'm trying to think if there was anything I forgot. I think I mentioned most of the stuff. Like I said, a bunch of the vault stuff I can't really think of right off the top of my head. And a bunch of the stuff in the middle is just what they call it, not filler, but noticing shit from the game. It's not a whole, Easter eggs and shit like that. So that's basically what a bunch of this stuff in. I guess they call that shit that big nasty ass monster a gulper. Know what the fuck that was, but it had all them goddamn fingers in his mouth, which was about nasty as all I knows. I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Just who designed that? I don't know what the fuck you want to call that, but I damn sure don't remember seeing that thing in no games. It's horrible. I would put that in the goddamn game again. It's nasty. But it's like I said, season 2. You know what I'm saying? We got Destination. You know they're going to introduce some new. I think we got the factions that we're going to have for a while, except for the New Vegas. And then we going to get the monsters because we got the Gulper and we got the Yagwai. You know what I'm saying? We got to see those in action. Where's the Rat Roach? Or whatever. So, stomping on that roach. God damn. But, yeah, we got that coming. So, we going to have the introduction to probably 2 more monsters, maybe. I don't know. I don't think they just going to have an influx of just Easter egg monsters just flying all over the place. So y'all can be like, hey, look what we did. We got this right here. Because they got the fiends wrong. I ain't the one that brought this. Well, I did catch the shit when they said it. It was like, this, what's a fiend? These are the people that eat people or some shit like that. And I'm like, no. They're fucking dope heads. They're not. They might. Some of them might be cannibals. You never know during that time, but no. Matter of fact, who's the cannibals? Can't even think of it right off the top of my head. Ain't it a group of motherfuckers out there that are actually cannibals? It's not the fiends. I know that much. The fiends are called the fiends because they fiending. Yeah, they fiending. They dope heads. That's what they not cannibals. So they got that wrong for the most part. But then again, that information came from Maximus, and he don't even know the birds and the bees. So, yeah, I would take whatever he say with a line of goddamn with a line of salt. Oh my good, now I sound like a fucking fiend. The fuck I'm doing snorting fucking salt? Ugh. I ain't got no internet and I'm tired because I was outside sweating in the fucking sun. Before I say something stupid, I'm finna hop my ass up off of here. Until next time, baby, I will catch y'all later.